Welcome to Impact News Hour on First Next News Port Harcourt. First, we bring you the headlines. Presidential Tax Committee, Tax Ombudsman partner to protect taxpayers' rights. Army Chief Shaibu pushes stronger strategic ties with U.S. Swiss militaries. 260 passengers aircraft makes emergency landing at Lagos Airport over technical fault. Bringing you the news this hour is Kasitoni. Now the news in details. As part of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR's effort to strengthen fair and effective tax administration in Nigeria, the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee and the Office of the Tax Ombudsman are partnering to enhancing taxpayers' trust and compliance through transparent mediation and accountability. A statement from the Office of the Tax Ombudsman. The collaboration was disclosed in Abuja following a meeting between the Tax Ombudsman CEO Dr. John C. Nwabueze and the chairman of the PFPTRC, Taiwo Oyindele. Speaking after the meeting, Dr. Nwabueze emphasized that the Office of the Tax Ombudsman serves as a mediator safety net for small and medium enterprises as well as multinational companies, as the office receives and resolves issues related to taxes, levies, charges, customs duty, and other related matters. Describing the office as a fair and efficient mediator between tax authorities and taxpayers, Dr. Nwabueze stated, Nigerian taxpayers can now save the cost of arbitration while still obtaining justice by resolving their tax complaints through the office. Commenting on the partnership, Oyindele noted that the meeting was part of ongoing efforts to support the effective implementation of tax reforms. Moving on, the Federal Ministry of Works has proposed to spend over 500 million naira on training of hairdressers, makeup artists, supply of grinding machines, motorcycles, minivans, and anti-drugs abuse sensitization advocacy in selected states of the Federation in 2026. Details of the proposed expenditure are obtained in the 2026 Appropriation Bill uploaded on the Budget Office website accessed. The items and services were distributed across select locations within the country's geographical zones. Under the budget item with code number ERGP 122344747, the ministry proposed to supply a yet-to-be-determined number of grinding machines to women in Ndokwa, Ugwani, Federal Constituency, South-South for a sum of 35 million naira. The same amount, 35 million naira, was proposed for the training and empowerment of women on hairdressing, makeup, and soap making in Mikan, Shandam, Kwampan Federal Constituency of Plateau State, North Central. The budget documents also include a proposal to spend 70 million naira on the empowerment and training of youths and 7 retirees on different skills and trade equipment in Iyamatu, Dekba in Gombe State, Northeast. There is equally a proposal for the training, sensitization, advocacy, and empowerment of North Central youths against drug abuse in Zamfara State, geographically located in the Northwest, among several similar proposals. Away from that, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, says President Bola Tinubu is laying strong foundation for long-term growth and shared prosperity. Idris stated this when he received members of the Grassroots Advocacy for Tinubu 2027 on a courtesy visit. A statement in Abuja by the Minister's Special Assistant on Media, Malam Rabiu Ibrahim, the minister commended the GAT 2027 group for its civil engagement and acceptance of responsibility in supporting accurate public information. He also welcomed the group's proposal for partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation Agency in the areas of public enlightenment, youth engagement, and strategic information. According to him, advocacy groups plays an important role in helping government policies reach the grassroots. He described effective communication as essential to national stability and development. In another report, Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Widi Shaibu, has called for stronger strategic cooperation between the Nigerian Army and the United States Army to address Nigeria's increasing complex security challenges. Lieutenant General Shaibu made the call while receiving the United States Defense attached to Nigeria, Lieutenant Colonel Samira Moore, during a courtesy visit to the Army headquarters in Abuja. He highlighted the impact of U.S. military training and education, disclosing that several senior Nigerian Army officers, including himself, are alumni of professional military institutions in the United States, reflecting the depth of bilateral military relations. Shaibu said the Nigerian Army is keen to leverage the extensive experience of the U.S. Army in both kinetic and non-kinetic operations, calling for broader engagement in doctrine development, operational planning, and strategic capability building. Still in the news, the UN World Food Programme has warned that thousands of people in the Northeast are facing the risk of catastrophic food shortage for the first time in nearly a decade, as aid cuts deepen malnutrition across the region. The food body says in Borno State alone, around 15,000 people are at risk, with more than 13 million children in the Northeast region projected to suffer malnutrition this year. In a statement, WFP says conflict, displacement, and economic pressures have driven food insecurity for years, but cuts to humanitarian assistance were now pushing vulnerable communities beyond their ability to cope. The UN body did not specify funding amounts, but agencies have been raising their alarm since the Trump administration began reducing aid as part of its American First policy last year, as Britain and others cut aid budgets to boost spending on defense. In Lagos, a technical fault has forced an aircraft conveying 248 passengers and 12 crew to make an emergency landing at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. A statement by Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Management Agency, Dr. Olufemi Oke Osayin Tolu, stated that the aircraft suffered a technical fault while airborne in Nigerian airspace, leading to the emergency landing. Following a distress alert received on its 767 112 toll-free emergency line, last month said upon arrival of the LRT at the incident scene, it discovered that the passenger aircraft was distressed. It, however, noted that the pilot executed a safe landing on the runway at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, with LASMA response team and other emergency responders standing by on extreme high alert on the runway. In spite of the technical issue and forced landing, the agency added that the incident did not result in any significant damage to the aircraft. Moving on, the Bayelsa State Commissioner of Police, Iyamag Edebo, has ordered the arrest of policemen captured in a viral video assaulting a tricycle rider in Yenagoa. The footage, which circulated widely on social media, showed the rider standing beside his tricycle while lamenting that some policemen had been chasing him. He said he had earlier explained to the officers that he was unwell and on his way to treat himself. Moments later, the officers appeared at the scene and confronted a resident who was recording the incident, ordering the person to stop filming and insisting that there was no right to record them. The video then showed the officers turning on the tricycle rider, who could be heard pleading with them and promising to bring the money. One of the officers threatened to punch the rider and shove him to the ground. The policemen were also heard issuing threats as he assaulted them. The footage further showed the officers forcing the rider into a nearby bush, where he was repeatedly beaten, stomped on with boots and struck with a tire before the officers left the area. In another news, the 2027 presidential hopeful of the African Democratic Congress (ADC), Peter Obi, has donated 15 million naira to two institutions owned by the Anglican Diocese of Nnewi to support improvements in health and vocational education. Obi donated 10 million to the ADON College of Health Technology, Nnewi, and 5 million to the ADON Vocational and Technical Academy, Ozubulu, local government area of Anambra State. Speaking during the visit, Obi said each encounter with faith-based institutions reminded him that churches were stepping in because of the failure of power to adequately provide education, healthcare, and social services for citizens. According to him, his continued support for such institutions is driven by the need to strengthen organizations that are filling critical gaps left by the state. He described students as the foundation of Nigeria's future and stressed the importance of supporting institutions responsible for shaping young people. And that's it on the news. Many thanks for watching. I am Kasitoni. Bye for now.